No, like going back to the core values, whenever you actually believe it, then it comes natural. So that's the way of, and going, whether you're at home and let's say you're mowing the grass or something and dust is blowing around and you just throw the safety glasses on so you don't get something in your eye, or I yell at my wife to get the boy out of the way, that way a rock doesn't fly up when we're mowing and stuff like that. Just whenever you actually believe in something and you've seen it work, it's just a way of life from then on.
So I've always liked to live somewhat of an adventurous life. It was September 28th, 2014. It was almost 6 weeks after my first son was born. And I was on my way to Atlanta on Interstate 20. I was on my motorcycle doing about 115 miles an hour. And all of a sudden, I started thinking about the what ifs. What if a deer ran out in front of me? What if I blew a tire? Things started running through my mind. And it was that point in my life where I really started thinking about my actions and their consequences and how those consequences affected other people. And now at this time have a wife and a 6-week-old baby at home that, they're counting on me to come home.
An incident happened years ago, and it actually involved everybody that works here at that time, where we had a guy that was trying to get to work, got killed. He jumped out of his vehicle when there was an ice storm. Vehicles are crashing coming down the hill. And instead of staying in his car, he didn't want to stay in his car, he jumped out and ran. Got out of his vehicle, jumped across the barrier. Well, there wasn't any bottom to it, so he fell like 80 feet to his death. I felt responsible for it because, in a way, because the guy felt like that he had to be to work next day, or Tom may not let him come back to work, And I just didn't want them to have that feeling that, they were threatened with their job. I just, that's the kind of sense of responsibility I took with that, and to make sure everybody knew that wasn't the case. It gave me a pretty good enlightenment about the well-being of our employees, time of day to go home and, to make sure everybody gets home safe. Same way they came in.
I am a guy that goes 100 mile an hour most of the time. I'm getting a little older, so I slow down a little bit, but I still go 100 mile an hour. However, in terms of safety, I've talked to my daughter's 12, not about like, hey, you should wear a safety glass. Well, I probably have told her to wear safety glasses if she's helping me. So, I tell her things like that, and I just teach her certain small things of what to watch out for in whatever type of situation.
It was at that point in my life where I transitioned into looking at things more from a safety aspect, not just at work, but in my personal life and the things that I did off the clock.
It's something that stuck with us forever. A lot of us guys remember it like it was yesterday. It's pretty tough. We all got together and discussed this, about, that trying to get to work, is it safe? Do I need to call in? Instead of making that extra effort to show that, hey, I showed up to work today, But we all had that conversation about whether we should or should not be driving.
A couple years passed, we were making a pick, and it was about a 30-some thousand pound valve pick, and the most dangerous words in our vocabulary, anybody's vocabulary, is we've always done it like this. And without assessing a situation, having the right guys and the guys that have the background to them, and the stop work authority came out, and a couple of the operators and one of the laborers came up, and they spoke that it didn't look right. So they stopped the work, they assessed the situation, and basically we avoided most likely a rigging failure. And that's one thing with like the safety background and the culture that we push. And we drive through these guys that definitely came in part right at that moment. So I was walking up as they were rigging, and I had overheard them, and we've always done it this way. We've always done it this way. And that's when Jared Anotto had spoke up, and he goes, well, it doesn't look right. It's just it's a powerful moment to knowing that you have that type of crew to back you up. out in the field, and with that support and the knowledge that's been pushed to the guys. So A+ to them.
When I took the job in North Carolina, shortly after that, we had an incident that happened. A young man hurt his leg pretty bad. I arrived at the hospital about 30 minutes after he got there. He was laying in bed, leg was very swollen. He's injured pretty decently. He's 18. He had just graduated high school a month before that. He's worked for us, and his mom came there, who actually seemed like she wasn't really that much older than me. She was only in her 30s, and dealing with seeing a family member and how they react to a guy getting hurt, and seeing how scared he was and how it affected all of us, and the foreman standing outside the hospital room and all that stuff, that really made me click of how important it really is that these guys work safe every day. And that I was already obviously a safety guy here, but that kind of threw additional motivation and propelled me to really get invested in that and really start caring about the guys and really become passionate about why it is so important that every day they do the right things. And sometimes those inexperienced guys don't know the right things, so the senior guys need to do the right things to make sure that kind of stuff doesn't happen.
They come to work every day and nothing ever happens. And I gotta keep reminding them that, we're just working and, the clock is just ticking. It's just waiting for the right moment. And if we're not ready, it's gonna happen. So we always gotta look back. And I try to explain to them situations I've been in. I come to work every day and I hoping nothing will happen, but it does happen. And you want to be prepared for it. In jobs you drive by and people are unsafe. Many companies just want their guys just to go out there and get the job done and not worry about them. They really don't care. Just hurry up, and hurry up. But here, we're working for a company that says stop. Don't do that. Put your PPE on, make sure you're safe. We're not that company that want to throw you out there and not worry if you come back. So that's one of the biggest things that we got to look at and, respect that we got a company that cares for you and your family. Just sharing that with the guys, letting them know that, not every day is going to be a beautiful day. But if we prepare for it, it can be. And if we remove what we need to remove, it can be. So always just be prepared.